Welcome to the fight game with Icewater and Puma. This show is brought to you by Rayon Cognac. Join the movement at www.rayoncognac.com. Puma, got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. A major weekend of boxing. My son, my adopted son, Shakur Stevenson is going to face Teofimo Lopez at 140. It's a major fight. It's a type of fight that will allow Shakur to stop the naysayers from talking about him being soft, not facing anybody. And it's a big step because he didn't have to take it. And I was really surprised that Teofimo Lopez took it. I think they both realized this could be a legacy builder from that standpoint. So I'm excited to see how that goes. So what are your thoughts on that fight?
Brother, when I saw some video of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terrence Crawford in the camp of Shakur Stevenson, I'm like, this is serious business. Because you rarely see those guys together. But them guys putting their heads together, trying to get Shakur right. And a lot of the folks that are calling this fight is like, Lopez is in trouble. he's in trouble. He's in trouble. I think he's in trouble. I think he, on any given night, he can do something, but he's in trouble with this fight because it seems like Shakur wants to really prove something and get into the pay-per-view kind of boxing level that Terrence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather, and this is his chance to do it against an opponent. For years, have been screaming, I haven't been getting the fights. Nobody wants to fight me. I haven't been getting the good fights. Now you got one, bro. You got one. And if you don't come ready to fight, if you don't come with your mental straight, Shakur going to take you out. And I believe Shakur is going to be a little bit, hopefully see him be a little bit aggressive because we're used to Shakur kind of waiting and gathering data like a Tank Davis and all that. But I don't think so. I think he has this guy's number. I think he knows exactly what he wants to do in this fight. And I'll be surprised if he didn't just go after Lopez in this particular fight. I don't know what you have been picking up on this because I've been looking at this and I'm like, you got both of them in the camp standing side by side, watching you and giving you, this is bad. This is bad for the Lopez camp. This is very bad.
Well, I'll say this. Teofimo Lopez is one hell of a fighter, right?
Oh, yeah.
The issue I have with him is what version of this man is going to show up. He's a hell of a boxer. When he boxes Teofimo Lopez, I've seen him do masterful things. When he doesn't show up or he has some issues going on and he's not strong in his bag, does not come out as the guy we expect him to be, then he has issues. One thing we do know about Shakur, love him or hate him or where his style is, as you said it best, he's not playing. He's prepared. Again, Bud Crawford is pretty much his mentor. That's his guy, like his brother. And he also recognizes Floyd. So to have both of them, that's what I told people. Are y'all paying attention? I told you this earlier. Are y'all paying attention? Do you realize he putting work in? He already spars with Bud a little bit anyway, right? Teofimo likes to make jokes. And I beat him, and I'll fight you next, or whatever, all this other crap. When you're in the ring with two Hall of Famers, and you can see Shakur has been, you got to pay attention to these things. You can tell Shakur has been sparring because he got a little mouse under his eye. You can tell, so he's been getting hit. And it's not by some random whatever. He's been taking some hits. So you look at his eyes. When his eyes is like kind of got a little puff on it where he's been hit. He's been sparring, working with these guys. They showed him what to look for. He's taking this very personal. And I think it's going to take an amazing feat by Teofimo Lopez to defeat him. And I think that it's not so much that I want to show you that I'm going to be aggressive, I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to make this a master class, kind of like what Bud did to Canelo. I want to show you that you don't belong in the ring with me. And with that being said, he's moving up to 140. Everybody said Shakur would stay at 135. He said, no, I'm going to come up to 140. Just how special to show you how special I can be. And I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. But Teofimo better come with it. That's all I'm saying. Everybody's talking about, how you going to run? He's like, nah. And Tiafino likes to make jokes, conferences and whatnot, and because he wants to rattle him. And I tell you what, Shakur Stevenson is not really a jokester, but when you saw how serious he was, he says, "Yo, man, shit ain't gonna help you. You whatever you trying to do mentally, it's not gonna help you because I see you and I'm waiting." So I'm looking forward to that. Also, too, on that card, we have Jermaine Ortiz is going to be fighting Keyshawn Davis, the businessman. So I think that's a hell of a fight for Keyshawn. He and Shakur are really good friends. They've been working out together, pushing one another. It'll be interesting to see how both of them push forward on that. Looking forward to that. And I've been waiting on the 31st for a long time. I'm looking forward to this fight. Wanted to see what else because I think if Shakur wins this fight and he wins in convincing fashion, it's only one other thing to do. I mean, we'd love to see Tank Davis, but I don't think Tank Davis is going to be around or he may be retired because he's on the run or whatever. It's only one other fight that I want to see him with right now. Let's bring on that Devin Haney, bro. They've been talking about it for the longest time. I think it'll be a great fight. I think it'll be a lot of money on the table and it can be done.
Let me ask you a question. Keyshawn Davis was his last fight. He had to drop out of that fight, right? I think he has a lot to prove inside and outside the ring because of that incident last time. He has to prove that he is professional inside and outside the ring. He has to get his crew together, and they have to be more professional. I think he has a lot to prove after that fiasco last time, and, because that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing to him and his camp, his brothers, his family, everybody in his camp. It was very embarrassing. And so, if they ever get to see this, prove that you could be the professional, prove that you can be the businessman in this particular fight, so your career won't be stained by that ugly incident last time.
No, I agree with that 100%. I think also too that they said that he was with Terence Crawford's group, and I think he's moved off from them. So he's left Bo Mack and those guys. He's no longer with them. He has his own group now, working with them. And I think it was maybe perhaps he got caught up being cocky or whatever, didn't take it seriously. There's some allegations about him drinking, doing training and stuff like that too. Whatever it was, because we've heard that he's had some mental issues over the years as well. But regardless of the fact, maybe that's why he went back with Shakur to kind of go on a steady home base because Shakur does not play when it comes to training and what he's doing. So it's really serious. And to watch Keyshawn work out now, you can see that he's in some of the best shape that he has been in a long time. You had to go back to a base, to a place that was safe. As long as he's around Shakur, when Shakur is trading, he's all about the business. So he is real like a businessman. This is also an amazing step up for Keyshawn too. Jermaine Ortiz has fought a couple guys. He fought Teofimo Lopez. He also fought Lomachenko. And even though he lost, Ortiz is no joke. So this
No.
is a big step up in talent for Keyshawn Davis, and we'll see if he's ready. We'll see if he's ready to step up and kind of raise his game a little bit. And when we look at future fights for him as well.
I know last night we were watching two different fights. You were watching a boxing match. I want you to talk about that. I was watching the UFC, and I have some thoughts about that. You want to go first?
Yeah, I can. The fight was a lightweight title fight. Andy Ortiz is 6-0. He's a young guy early on in his career, professional career, and was fighting Raymond Moritala. Raymond Moritala is a guy that's pretty solid, a veteran. Not he's like 20 something fights, but this is a guy that fought Garcia in amateurs 3 times and beat him. He's really strong for that weight, packs a lot of power, and it was a hell of a test for Andy Ortiz. Ortiz and the businessman kind of have a little rivalry going. They don't like each other, but Ortiz is stepping up and stepped his game up. And when you watch the fight, you said, why is a guy that only has 6 fights going to step up and challenge a champion, right? And he did, and it was a good fight early on. But what happened late for Ortiz is it's almost as if he was nervous or apprehensive of moving forward in the later rounds because of the factor of what his opponent could do to him. He was a little stronger coming forward. And no, although or Cruz, I'm sorry, Eddie Cruz had more boxing skills. He didn't want to come out and really do what he needed to do to win the fight. So you watched it in the later rounds. He was dancing around, and his opponent just kept coming and coming. So he eventually lost the fight. So now, Mortala says he wants the winner of Shakur versus Teofimo Lopez. So interesting night last night for both of those guys. Very interesting to see how it goes, but we'll have to see. I will say this: I think we are going to see more talent in the lightweights, more things. We look 118, 122 with the monster. Nakatani's supposed to be getting together. Ben Rodriguez. We're going to see a lot of fluctuation. There's a lot of good talent in those smaller weights, and we should stay tuned for that.
All right. The UFC last night, of course, Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison, that fight was canceled. Also, the Rose was supposed to fight Alexia Grasso. That fight was canceled, but the Rose fought a Natalie Silva out of Brazil, and Natalie Silva, hey cutie pie, she won against the Rose in a 3-round decision, and rightfully so. You had John Silva and Arnold Allen. Silva won in that particular match. You also had, this was a really, really strange match to me. Derek Lewis, I thought, would come in and just steamroll Cortez Acosta, but that didn't happen at all. That was a KO, TKO in the second round. Costa was using a jab and knocked him down a couple of times. And the last time, he really kind of hit him. I didn't see how hard he hit him, but he kind of got him. He fell down, and Derek Lewis just lay there, like, come and get me. And Acosta just came in there, and that was the end of the fight. And so I was really surprised about that particular fight. Sean O'Malley gets a decision from Song, and I don't think Sean O'Malley won that fight. I'll say it here. I watched that fight, and I think Song was the dominant fighter in that fight. He walked O'Malley down. He cut off the ring. He got him down on the mat a few times. To me, he was a better fighter. I think Sean O'Malley, in the last 30 seconds of the last round, kind of went off and was throwing a lot of things in that last round. But I don't think it was enough to win the fight. And to me, in my honest opinion about the UFC, you can tell which fighter they want to win fights. They are so biased in their commentary. You can tell that there are some fighters that they are going with. And I will say this also with the main event with Gaethje and Pimblett. And Pimblett, Patty, the baddie, got dominated. He got his ass whooped in that fight. When I say an ass whooping, it was an ass whooping. The veteran took him to task, took his confidence in the early rounds, and Patty tried to win the last round and to give the judges a little bit of the last thing that they see, but it wasn't enough. And even Patty realized, hey, I gotta get better. This is a legend in the game. He showed why he's a legend. And Justin just came in there and he went to work. He went to work. And Patty looked like he had no answers throughout the whole fight. His corner was trying to tell him what to do. He had no answers. And it was almost like Justin knew what he was going to do. And he was 2 steps ahead of him the whole fight. So if you have a chance to watch, if you didn't watch last night and you have a chance to watch it, please watch that fight. And Patty has a lot of work to do. And it seemed like the UFC commentators wanted Patty to win. They were just saying that he was landing punches where he did not land punches. He was doing certain things that he was not doing. And it seems like Joe Rogan and those guys, especially Joe Rogan, he has his favorites and he's going to say things about them. And when the other fighter does something, they don't even mention it. And so it's an obvious bias to me. Any thoughts, man?
No, I'm with you. I mean, I can see that. What's really weird you mentioned about how they have with UFC, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, is I think they're scrambling because the marquee names are not there like they used to be.
You're exactly right.
And,
Yes.
right. And I think that when you have the pay-per-view now, it's harder to sell that. So you used to have, even with the women, you just always had maybe at least 3 or 4 key fights that you go, oh, that's a talent, that's a talent. But like last night, unless you know the veterans, you know certain ones, you go like, for instance, they're supposed to have Amanda in there, and they
That
and
would have
she
been
wasn't
the
there.
headliner, in my opinion.
Yeah. So she would have been there or something else. But when you have the minimal type of talents anymore, it's hard for them to try to pump it up. And people like, I'm not watching that. Like last night, you told me, and Amanda Nunes was watching. Oh, that's must see TV for me, right?
Yeah.
But instead, I'm watching boxing. You watching UFC.
Yeah, we
So
split. We had to split.
yeah,
We got to cover the show, so
yeah,
we had to cover it.
yeah. But I would have definitely found if Amanda Nunes was on there, I would have watched it. But I think UFC, when you said that they had a favorites, but it makes for bad broadcasting when you're not promoting and giving us more of the legends. And maybe they need to find new talent because you look at guys, where's Israel, right? We've been waiting. I mean, Israel, I mean, we just don't know. John Jones is now fighting. There's a lot of people out there. And Amanda, we waiting on her last night. She couldn't fight because her fight got canceled. So a lot of people love USC, but we just tired of watching. I mean, like you mentioned, what was the gentleman's name? The one that you said he has work to do?
Patty Pimlet.
Yeah. So Patty is like, okay, well, who the hell am I gonna watch Patty? I need some meat. You need to give back to maybe not the older guys, but there has to be some more scrappers in there that you guys are holding on to bring the casual fan. And I wouldn't say I'm casual. I just want to see great talent. Same way we'll be able to say could be said about boxing.
The thing that really bothered me about Joe Rogan last night is that you could tell that they didn't want or they weren't expecting Natalie Silva to come in and win that fight because she was the last minute kind of person to come in. And she wanted to say one more thing, maybe thank her family, something like that after the interview. And Joe wouldn't let her. On the other hand, Sean O'Malley, they waiting for his daughter to get up on the mat and all this stuff. They got all this time for these fighters that they really like. And so I'm timing it because I'm like, okay, there's a certain amount of time you're gonna get this to get to the next fight. You could have held that up to have her say one more thing to the crowd. And he was like, oh no, time, all this other stuff. And it's like it's this bias in the UFC where the commentators are the way they talk about certain fighters, it's almost like in some ways it makes me think that sometimes it may be scripted because
Mm.
the way they kind of favor one fighter over the other, it's like, dude, I mean, is the other fighter even in the ring at this point? Because they're doing damage too, and they're doing punches, but you're not mentioning all that what they're doing. You just mentioned the fighter that you think should win the fight, or maybe is hooked up with the UFC to promote that big name that they're trying to get because the names aren't there anymore. You ain't got the McGregors and you ain't got the John Jones and you ain't got the big names anymore. And to me, it's harder and harder to sell this when you don't have the big names. There are people in the preliminary, I had no idea who they were. No idea. Never seen them fight before. You throwing them up there, the names aren't there. So you're trying to put these people in positions where you can get the names and promote them. It's not working. It's really not working, especially when they go in there and get their ass beat. That really
Yeah,
makes y'all look bad.
I agree with that 100% because people they have choices what they can watch. You got to do better because same way with boxing, start giving us some crap again, like we said before with that entertainment piece that got exposed, and I think that's bye bye. I've heard some people try to talk about that, but that exposure happened, and I think a lot of people are glad that they did. We can get back to real boxing now without the BS because they was running with that for a long time. It's like Netflix, are you going to continue to let somebody fool you like that? We saw the real gist of what's going on now. So next subject, but I guess that's just amazing how that happens. But we'll see. Hopefully, you have a good turnout as far as this weekend is concerned. Looking forward to that fight, and we just need to see more fights. One last thing for me, Oscar, Hearn, whoever, y'all get the hell out the way, man. Let us see this boots in this fight, okay? And Virgil Ortiz. Quit, get out the way, man. Quit, and he said this, and he gonna, and I ain't gonna, man, just get out the way. Gentlemen, Boots, Virgil. The one thing, if you want to fight each other, make a phone call. That's how the fight happened between Mayweather and Pacquiao. They saw each other, they talked, they worked it out, they made it happen. Promoters just jumped on board. You
Yeah.
get caught up in all that drama. If you really want to fight a guy, which is going to really build your legacy, going to make you a lot of money too, you have to go to the source. And I think that's what Ortiz is trying to do with De La Hoya, trying to get out of his contract because he really wants to fight him. But it's just, yeah. You know, come on, bro.
And maybe other people follow the drama, but we don't. We don't care. Just announce the fights. We'll talk about the fights. We'll promote the fights on our platform. But we're not going to be bothered with the drama that comes behind it. If you want to fight, you want to fight. As Mike Tyson would say, sign the contract, big boy. I ain't here to talk. So stop with the drama. Stop with the drama. You
No doubt. No doubt. That's before you say that, you're gonna say he's ice water before you say that. Tim Bradley, bruh, can we get you on the show? Tim Bradley. Yeah, bruh. We Hall of Famer, bro. We love you, man. Can we get you on the show, talk a little boxing?
and I sent a letter to the Roy Jones management. Roy, please come on the show. We'd like to talk to you. I want to find out what you found out talking to Earl Smith Jr. when you went up there to train with him to see if he still got it. I want to find that out. I want to find that out. And I would love for you to come and talk about that on the show if you're permitted to talk about it.
Andre, we got love for you too, bro. You want to come on, Andre Ward? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Got love for you. I was at the first fight against Kovalev, bro. Hey, open invitation. Buddy McGirt, come on, bro. Where you been?
Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
All right.
Come on, bro.
He's Icewater. I'm Puma. This is the fight.